Hi guys, welcome to another Feedback Friday. Today I'm closing my Agatha week with the first episode in a new series, movies or adaptations versus books. Hi guys, I've been thinking about it for a long time to do book reviews, but also compare it with the movies or TV shows or adaptation. And I figured, this would be a great week to start yet another series. And so, welcome. In order to start the series, I could not think of any better book than Murder on the Orient Express. This is a book that I believe a lot of people have heard. I really love. It is the book that has started my love of Agatha. So for emotional reasons, I don't think I can give it any less than 5 stars. I love the characters. I love where the plot went. It was one of the most brilliant twists I've ever seen. I love the way Agatha writes. The atmosphere is flawless. She always plays fear, so there's nothing to not like about this book. I will give a disclaimer though, this book may not be for everyone. Most of the book is set as an interview in which Poirot is interviewing the suspect. Let's get to the synopsis. So in this book, we have the luxurious Orient Express. The first class carriage is full with a colorful cast of characters, including our beloved Poirot. They are taking the journey, la 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 la, but then, something has to happen. And what happens is snow. There's a heavy snowdrift and it stops the train on its tracks. And our characters are isolated and cannot go anywhere until they figure out how to clear the snow and the train can proceed. However, when they woke up, Poirot is asked, hush hush, to come to this cabin because an American tycoon was murdered. He had 12 stab wounds and his room was locked. And obviously someone in the carriage committed a crime and Poirot will figure out who did it at the request, again, of the guy in charge. Poirot's reputation precedes him. So we see him as he interviews everyone and he goes through their belongings to figure out who could have possibly murdered that man so viciously. I love it. It's wonderful. And just to prove this is one of the few Portuguese versions I actually have in here because every time I travel, I take it with me. I'm still waiting for my mom to send me the other one so I can really do this reading all of Agatha Christie books in order that I've been planning, and is the reason why I started my booktube, but I need my Portuguese books as well. As you can see, it's very used and bitten. It was first given to my mom, who refused to love it, so my grandfather saved it, and he gifted me this book when I was 11, and it goes from there. From them, we were going everywhere, looking for me to complete my Agatha Christie collection. And after I moved to Canada, we did the same thing to get me the collection in English. It is... I miss my grandfather so much, and Agatha Christie is very dear to me for the reason. But anyway, you can see here, for example, that, 11-year-old me wrote that I gave it 5 stars when I first read it, and that I kind of got the end right. I used to write on my books, y'all. But it's a very, very used edition. But it goes back. Like, I think I'll always have it with me. I just wanted to share this. I don't know why. But there you go. The Murder on the Orient Express, for emotional reasons, will always be my favorite book. And of course, it was Poirot. I fell in love with him for the first time. In this book, he's an asshole. You're either gonna love him or hate him. I loved him. I don't know why, but his little gray cells got me. And I wrote it here because I want to give credit where credit is due. There has been so far 4 adaptations, well, 4 English adaptations of this book. All of them I have watched, and I'm gonna go and review them from worst to best. Last and in 4th place, I am sorry. I don't like dissing things, but I take Murder on the Orient Express very seriously. And this I'm only going to mention because my list would be incomplete without it. But if you want to do yourself a service, do not ever watch it. It's garbage, it's trash, it's crap. And I'm really sad because one of the actors in it is Alfred Molina, and I like him. But this is a no. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. It was made for TV in 2021. Written, so the adaptation was done by Stephen Harrigan. Directed by Carl Schenkel, and did star Alfred Molina, Meredith Baxter, Leslie Caron, and Peter Strauss. It shouldn't have been that bad, but it was, and I blame Harrigan. No. Next, this might surprise you guys, but in 3rd place, I have Agatha Christie's Poirot, Murder on the Orient Express. It was an episode in season 12 and aired in 2010 originally. I love Suchet's Poirot. I really love the whole series. I will watch towards the end. Some of the stories were just loosely based, and some of them did not do the book justice, in my opinion. But I'll forever cherish it. It's one of my favorite series. I rewatch the episodes very often. But this one, for me, missed the mark for a few reasons. Before I get on those reasons, I will say that it was adapted by Stuart Harcourt, and it has like a stellar cast of characters like Toby Jones, Jessica Chastain, Eileen Atkins, Hugh Bonneville, Barbara Hershey, Samuel West, and let me just stop by saying the acting was superb from all of them. And I kind of like some of the differences and liberties that we're taking with this screen. The end is slightly different, and that's fine. I would have liked this movie more if it wasn't for the fact that they basically made Poirot a freaking patsy on this book. On this movie. In the book, he's very much in charge. He's smart. He has his gray cells. He freaking solved the crime. And in here, it feels like he depended on the freaking doctor for everything. No, I'm sorry. There are things in here that for the love I have for Poirot, I do not accept. Poirot is stronger than that. I'm sorry. You don't do that. He's not a freaking patsy, and he knows everything. He doesn't need people to tell him, okay? So that's the reason why he's in 3rd place. And yes, I feel very strongly about the book and its adaptations. But again, I still recommend you watch it. It's beautiful. The visuals, I really enjoyed it. It's just I have that, didn't like it. But I loved it, if that makes sense. And then, in 2nd place, and this might surprise a lot of people, I have the 2017 film that was adapted by Michael Green, directed and starred by Kenneth Branagh. A lot of people do not like this only because, let's face it, Kenny is no Poirot. He's as far as removed as you can be. But I still think that if you allow from some liberties, I liked where he brought the book. I liked where he brought the story. And I'm not mad at him as Poirot. I think he brought something fresh to a beloved character. I'm not mad at this adaptation at all, even though it is not my favorite. There are things about it that I don't like. And the cast of characters, oh my god. And you will see with most of the Murder on the Orient Express, and also with all the Peter Ustinov whole adaptations, it's a brilliant cast of character. It's like a full-on Oscar-worthy ensemble. Is the best of the best, the cream of the crop. And this is no difference, and that's another thing I really like about the Suchet's adaptation and the Branagh's adaptation is they kept that star-studded cast very much. They kept up with the tradition. And here we have Tom Bateman, Kenneth, of course, Penelope Cruz, Willem Dafoe, Judi Dench, Johnny Depp, Josh Gad, Derek Jacobi, Leslie Odom Jr., Michelle Pfeiffer, Daisy Ridley. Right? Stay tuned. Death on the Nile will be coming next on this Branagh series. It was supposed to have come out last year, but then, you know, that happened. So it was supposed to come out in November this year. I think it was postponed again. But Death on the Nile is coming, and I can't wait for that version. But first, and always, will be for me the forever classic Murder on the Orient Express 1974 film. The screenplay is by Paul Dunn and is directed by Sidney Lumet. This, for me, aged well. Again, it started on with the whole star-studded tradition, and it really honors the book. It's fairly faithful to the original story. The acting is superb. Some Oscars actually came out of it, and is this big Hollywood production that didn't cheapen the story at all. I love it. I rewatch it. I have it, and I recommend if you're going to watch any of the movies, you try this one. So some of the stars that are in here is Albert Finney as Poirot. Fantastic. He might not really look like the Poirot that is described, but his mannerisms, I think he really, out of everyone, he embodied Poirot the most until we got Suchet. And the jury is still out in which of the two I like the most. We also have Lauren Bacall, Martin Balsam, Ingrid Bergman, Jacqueline Bisset, Jean-Pierre Cassel, Sean Connery, John Gielgud, Wendy Hiller, Anthony Perkins, Vanessa Redgrave, Rachel Roberts, Richard Widmark, and Michael York. And all of these actors were at the top of the game at the time, and it was like just beautiful. That's my ranking order of all the adaptations. And of course, this is my own opinion, completely biased, and brought to you for entertainment value only. I hope you enjoy this adaptation versus book. And my final verdict is read the book and watch the movies, except for the Molina one. Don't watch that one. That's it. Thanks for being here with me on this Agatha week. Thank you for allowing me to do this. And I'll come back to you on Monday. Until then, be the hummingbird.